Some guys just think they don't need a manager. They're good enough just because they got a body and baby oil. That's not it. You have to know how to think in that ring. And I've never, when they put a guy over the second rope or something, a lot of managers will grab the guy and hit him. I never did that.
But what is the right time to interfere?
I'll tell you. But when they tell you to, it's a finish. But if they put a guy over the second rope, I never grab the guy and hit him. You know what I do? I look around and put my hand in my pocket. People start coming up now. I would take a step towards the guy. I get a little close to my pocket. The people start coming. Just as I got there, I'd have my man turn the ref around. He would turn the ref like he almost caught me. But if I hit the guy, I'm not beating the guy, right? Mm-hmm. But later on, the finish of the match, I may put on nuts and hit the guy and beat him. So if I hit the guy before, it's anticlimactic. It doesn't mean anything. So what you do is you entertain. I almost got him, but not yet.
Well, you touched on this next question, but maybe go into it a little more. Why is it crucial for the ref to never see the interference, as far as getting heat with the crowd?
Because all the heat goes on him and he don't draw money.
Okay.
You can't sell a ticket selling a ref. And when the ref lets you do things right in front of him, you've lost all your credibility, whatever we have. But if he's only got to do a couple things. He's got to be vicious, sneaky, and take bumps. That's all. And the babyface has to be humble and sell. And have a fiery comeback. The rest happens. But if you go out there and you do right things in front of the referee, they'll throw a guy on the floor, hit him with a chair and everything. We should be disqualified. But once you threw him on the floor and the referee, his manager jumped up on the other side, no one's looking, then you hit him with a chair and roll back in. And the guy gets up to hit me with a chair. So you hit him with a chair, he's going to say no. I'll say no. The people will say yes. You've got the people involved.
Right.
It's really easy.
What character is this? The question is, what characteristics should all managers have, or is that a valid question?
All managers should have the characteristics that they are better than anybody else. They're smarter when it comes to business. Don't wear sunglasses. Eyes tell so much. If you have sunglasses on, you're the Lone Ranger. No one knew who he was, but they knew who Tano is. So have your eyes. So when you do your interview, Ric Flair and Macho Man Savage have great eyes. And you can see that fire in them when they talk. And some guys just don't have it. But a manager has to be, that's my favorite, because he dresses and looks like a sleazy guy that would rip somebody off.
Used car salesman stuff.
And I look like the kind of a guy that would be a movie producer, but with no film in the camera. Take all your clothes off. Yeah, little close up, no, close up. Zoom it. No film. That's my character.
What would you say, we've touched on this, but what would you say the basic job of a manager is?
To be a crouton, to help your man. John Studd. John Studd was a wonderful man. You look at a piece of paper and you see Andre the Giant versus John Studd, my God, what a match. One's 7'5", one's 7 feet, one's 500, one's 340. It didn't work like that. Because John Studd wasn't capable of taking big bumps and big slams. Some guys just aren't. So they want to see a giant do giant things to you. So John couldn't take big slams and bumps. His body he didn't want to do. He was scared of bumps. That's simple. So when you have a manager, you bring me in at the end, I take all the bumps for him. You have to pick up what your man don't have. Okay, and I love John Studd. But, I watched a match the other day with Shawn Michaels and Kurt Angle. Greatest match I've ever seen. Shawn Michaels stood on the second rope and dove onto the table. Studd would have never been able to get to the second rope or ever thought about going to the table. Neither would I. So some guys just can't do things like that. John was just a pounder. Boom, that's all he did. He would take bumps, but you didn't slam John, but you weren't going to backdrop him or throw him over the turnbuckle. He didn't do things like that. He's too big and he didn't want to do it.
What can you do to make yourself look more like a star in your appearance? So it's an aspiring manager question.
One thing is don't show up in T-shirts and shower shoes and food all over the front of you. If you want people to think you're making money, look like you are.